wish to set up a manufacturing industry. How will you choose its location? What are the factors that you must keep in mind while choosing the location of your industry? To answer these questions, first you have to understand how a manufacturing industry works. Every manufacturing industry needs inputs of raw material or components that can be manufactured into a finished product. To come into existence, a manufacturing industry also requires an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur wanting to set up a manufacturing industry, you will have to arrange for the capital, land, infrastructure like a factory, machines and electricity, and skilled manpower. Next, you need to find transport to get all the inputs to your factory where the finished goods are manufactured as output. Once the goods have been manufactured, you need to transport them to the market where you sell them and earn money. This money is used to arrange for more inputs to carry on the production in your factory. The key factor influencing all decisions about setting up a manufacturing industry, including its location, is the cost. If you can keep your costs low, you can make more profit. The main costs in a manufacturing industry are for procuring raw material, producing goods, and distributing finished goods in the market. Thus, the ideal location for your factory will be a place that has easy and low-cost availability of raw material, capital, land, labor, power, transport, and market. It is difficult to find all these factors in one location. Thus, the most appropriate location is chosen where most of these factories can be arranged at the lowest cost. A manufacturing industry needs lots of workers, and workers need houses, schools, hospitals, banks, and markets. Thus, a manufacturing industry promotes the urbanization of its neighborhood. Already urbanized areas also attract industries, since they provide ready facilities for transport, banking, labor, consultancy, etc. If an urban center offers sufficient facilities and advantages, several industries come up there together to form an industrial agglomeration. These industries together form an agglomeration economy. Before independence, most industries in India were located in port cities like Mumbai, Kolkata, and Chennai, keeping in mind the overseas trade. Gradually, these places developed as heavily industrialized urban centers surrounded by vast farmlands. If you make a list of things you use every day, you will be surprised by their number. Most of these things are products of manufacturing industries. All these things are made from different kinds of raw material with different manufacturing processes. These are also some of the criteria on which we can classify manufacturing industries. We can classify manufacturing industries based on their source of raw material, role, capital investment, ownership pattern, and bulk of supplies like raw material and finished products. Based on their source of raw material, manufacturing industries can be classified as agro-based industries and mineral-based industries. Agro-based industries that manufacture cotton textiles, rubber, sugar, tea, coffee, and edible oil source their raw material from agricultural produce. Industries like iron and steel, aluminium, cement, and petrochemicals source their raw material from minerals and are called mineral-based industries. Based on the weight or bulk of the raw material used and the finished products, manufacturing industries can be classified as heavy and light industries. Heavy industries like iron and steel plants use tons of raw material like iron ore and coal and produce bulky ingots of iron. Electrical and electronic companies use lightweight components to produce small handy items like cell phones and are called light industries. Based on their role, manufacturing industries can be classified as basic or key industries and consumer industries. The produce of basic or key industries like iron and steel, copper and aluminium smelting is supplied as raw material to other industries like automobile and cable manufacturing. Consumer industries produce daily use products like salt, sugar, and toothpaste, and electrical and electronic appliances that are sold directly to the consumers. Based on the capital investment, manufacturing industries can be classified as small-scale and large-scale industries. This classification depends on the maximum limit of investment in the industry, which may change with time. At present, industries with a capital investment of up to Rs 1 crore are called small-scale industries, while those with an investment exceeding Rs 1 crore are called large-scale industries. Based on ownership, manufacturing industries can be classified as public sector, private sector, joint sector, and cooperative industries. While public sector industries are owned and run by the government, private sector companies are owned by individuals or business houses. Joint sector companies are jointly owned and managed by the government and the private sector. Cooperative industries are owned by people actually involved in the production, like raw material producers, suppliers, and workers. The total share of industries in India's GDP is 27%, out of which 10% comes from mining, quarrying, and electricity and gas production activities. Manufacturing industries contribute only 17% to our GDP. this is much lower in comparison with Southeast Asian economies, where manufacturing accounts for 25 to 35% of the GDP. From a growth rate of around 7% in the last decade, manufacturing in India started growing at a rate of 8 to 10% after 2003. The desired growth rate for the next decade is 12%. The National Manufacturing Competitiveness Council, or NMCC, has been set up to achieve this target by adopting appropriate policies and improving productivity.